totally not sat on a daybed trying to show you some of my new artwork. Okay, hi everyone, welcome back to another video. I have a spare 10 minutes to show you some of my new artwork. Now I have gone out and bought a frame from all of them, which is quite exciting because the cost of framing artwork, if anyone knows, does cost a lot, and it's just unreal. Just unreal. But you know what? Once you put them in a frame and you realise how lovely they are, it's always so worth it. So I had a drawing from my sketchbook that I translated very much into a line of print. Now I've had this drawing for a good year and a half, and it's just only about this big, which you'll see in a minute, and it's of a Greek sculpture that is in one of the local art galleries, and I was so obsessed with the drawing because all I did was take a watercolour pen and just kind of flick a few lines of where the shape and shadow was, and I realised how much it can relate to my own life, because you couldn't really understand the face, but you could understand the features of the body and the fact, well, A, the fact it's a woman, and B, it's totally different in each individual light, and I love that concept. I always find it a bit funny with any sort of sculpture anyway, because most of the sculptures that we find are broken and we define them as beautiful and magnificent and beyond an aura of the gods, and yet they are broken, they are fragile, they have probably been glued back together, and yet we find them more beautiful and find them more delicate than they were when they were fully together. And I just love the representation of that, and I want to combine the lightness and how to explain the different compositions that you can get from a single piece, and trying to do that through liner print. There was only one thing that actually came to mind, and I actually did it in my old sketchbook when I was back at college. We did basically multiple liner prints as like a collage right next to each other, and you'd take a mark out of the liner each and every single time to show the image, so you kind of get like a recessive pattern from point A. So image A is completely different from image B, C, D, and so on and so forth. And that was the only thing that I wanted to do, but I wanted the liner print to be able to be reused, because I feel like wastage is a massive thing. But anyway, so I decided to take part of that concept, and instead of influencing the actual liner piece, I would influence the ink by the amount of water and the amount of ink that I would put onto it. So I have done multiple layers of printing using manipulation of water and ink to create 3 different compositions, 3 different artworks. There was only 3 versions of this that I wanted to do, because I always feel like 3 is a very nice solid number. It's like, you know, especially if you're a gamer, that 3 is the magic number for either a boss fight or quests, items, or etc, etc. So I'm just gonna sit back, show you the pieces of artwork, and then I'll go through a bit more if anything comes to mind. So this is version 2. Now, yes, all of these artworks that I've shown you is available on my Vinted account. They are all up for sale. They are all in a 40 by 50 white frame, and they come at a cost of £100. Postage and packaging are varied depending on where you are. As you can see, multiple layers of prints next to each other, and this piece here, that is obviously the size of the liner print, and this one is the purest one. So this is the one where I do not interact with the print at all. So I literally just line it up, print it, and then that's it. The rest have either been not pressed in, or they've had lots of water on them, or there's a bit of colour difference influence from my colour palette, so they look a bit disorientated in colour and pigment. There's just so many little bits, and it's so simple to influence and to get this different version of the same thing. It's kind of like how I feel on a day-to-day basis. You know, this is today, and tomorrow I'm going to feel different, and the next day I'm going to feel even more different. I'm going to be a complete mess. It's such a good way of describing me personally, especially when it comes to mental health, and to anyone's mental health. No day is ever the same, and it just blows my mind of how much this has been sat in my sketchbook and I have done nothing with it. I, for a long time, was kicking myself because I was like, why am I not producing the same artwork that I was producing back at uni, and you know, back when I was working full time and all these other stuff. And you know what, at the end of the day, I'm not in the same situation as I was a good 6 years ago. So the artwork's not going to be the same. I've done and become such a different person, and everyone's the same. Everyone's in the same boat. It's very unlikely that you've gone a good 6 years, or however many years it is, since you've done the last piece of artwork and you're able to produce something that's still in the same line and format of what is interesting to you, because every day is different. And I think that's where a lot of my artwork comes from. It's what I find at the time interesting, and if it doesn't have the right way around it right now, it means I haven't found a way around it, or it's just not time. It's not time. I've got a good few artworks I feel like aren't relevant for right now, and beating myself up about the fact that I can't produce any artwork is not something I'm going to go down the path with. It's just a waste of energy. But yes, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If I get words out. If you guys have any questions about what you've just seen, or anything you've seen on my Vinted account, please do not hesitate to ask me in the comment section below. I'll do my very best to answer. If you are interested in any of these artworks, please head over to my Vinted account. It is in my description box. There's also my eBay account if you're international. On my accounts there are several different artworks for several different price ranges. I'm not a high range kind of person. I like to be able to have something for everyone, no matter how big or small or how complicated it is. So please just take a look, share, like, subscribe. Subscribe to this channel, please. And yeah, I shall see you guys next week, and I look forward to seeing you more. Bye, have a nice day.